beautiful, beautiful. It just went beautifully. So I actually was already put on schedule. I was put on schedule, and she actually gave me more hours than what I've been getting. So that's different. But I was put on schedule, and she chose to work around it. She went with me. So honestly, I'm only scheduled here tomorrow, this week, and then I can't work no more days this week because I was already off on my off days on here. So my off days on here was Wednesday and Thursday. I was off Wednesday and Thursday here too. So it's just like, I'm just off days for me no matter what I do for this week. I can't come in here Wednesday and Thursday. But I was scheduled. She took me off the schedule. And like, I brung up, I don't want to just leave, and I just started. And she was like, it's up to you. So basically, it wouldn't have been a problem if I would have left and quit this job. But how I look quitting this job and I ain't stepped foot in this one yet? Stupid. I'm not gonna do that. The only reason I feel like I would want to leave a job right now, want to not work right now, the only reason I would want to not work right now, I'm so lost in my job. Oh, the only reason I wouldn't want to do both jobs right now is because Kainitra. So I'm gonna have to talk to her because she don't want me working too much, but she might change her mind. I don't know. But honestly, I haven't did it. I haven't worked 7 days a week. And I don't know how long, but I'm so far behind on bills that it would be great for me to work my other job as normal, as planned, and then come in here and get extra here. So right now, she told me to send her a picture of this for next week, and she's gonna try to get me on the off days. Which, in my mind right now, I'm thinking I should work both of those off days. Just send her a schedule me when you want on those 2 off days. I'm free, and work around. The only problem that comes with this scheduling and the way it's going right now is if Kainitra wants to go to New York, or if she want to do this or want to do that, or I want to go to Detroit, or like, I need to be off, which that's another situation of me having to go to management and request days off, request, not being somewhere. But thing about that is, that's fear. That's fear of me not being accepted, granted that day off, that, I have to go do this, can I, leave? Or not being accepted those 3 days, out of a month or something, 2, 3, 4 days out of a month. So I don't know. I'm gonna talk to her. Then that's where I'm gonna really figure out what's gonna happen for real. As far as transportation, right now I'm Kainitra's main source of transportation. She been getting around before I came here, but when I get here, I ain't have to work. I wasn't, I was taking her wherever she needs to go. I ain't got nothing against taking her where she needs to be. I would rather take her. I would feel disrespected if she was paying $8-10 for a lift, and I'm sitting down watching her take a lift. Like, no. I remember when I needed rides and I couldn't get rides. My mom didn't want to drive me places, not because it was too far. Not because she ain't had gas, because it was too far. She didn't trust going certain places. She didn't want to get pulled over by the police, stuff like that. Like, her condition of the car and all that. Car didn't want to break down. Didn't want to drive in places where it's more likely for her to get pulled over, stuff like that. Now it's like to the point where I can drive wherever I want to, I'm legally driving. I have my insurance, so I would drive. I drove all the way to North Carolina. I'm not scared to drive no more. I'm not scared of getting pulled over by the police. If I get pulled over, I get pulled over. I deal with it accordingly. Luckily, I haven't been pulled over to this day, other than when I was in the bus and I didn't have my lights on, and police pulled me over and told me to turn my lights on, stuff like that. I think that was the only time I got pulled over. Yeah, and I was in the bus, so I didn't feel as worried because I'm at work. This ain't even my car. You can't take my bus. You can take my bus, but it ain't my bus. So take it, you know? Worst thing you're gonna do, you're gonna take me off. I know everything right on the bus. Well, if it ain't right on the bus, it ain't got nothing that is less attached to me. So I would rather have love to get pulled over in somebody else, well, not somebody else's car, in the company's car, the bus car than mine. But that's that. Gonna check out these brakes. Gonna try to put food in the refrigerator. Next up after that is paying these bills. These bills got to get paid. But the way it's looking, I'm about to start trying to work. I'm going to start trying to work a lot. And it looks like I would have the ability to make more than what I was making. Now, it's not for certain, but the ability to make more than what I was making should be there, which means that I should be able to catch up if I do it long enough. What I'm thinking right now is if I work 40 hours a week at the other job, which he just told me basically it ain't a guaranteed 40 hours. We're gonna see. Only way I feel like I wouldn't get the hours is if they didn't have it to give, or I wasn't like a top pick. See, at my first job, when I was a waiter, I was the top pick. I wasn't the top pick, but I was one of the top picks. So normally you get about 12, 13, whatever waiters, however many waiters at parties. They scheduled, and then if it was like less people, like if it didn't require every waiter, they just wouldn't schedule certain waiters. So of course certain people got their off days. But see, since I was a top pick, I was always on the schedule. Unless it was a party where it was only like 4 or 5 male waiters, I was at that party. It was worse when it was dishwasher, because I wasn't the top pick at dishwasher at all. So like if it was a small party and they only need like 5, it's less dishwashers. It's probably like 6 dishwashers at the job. So if they only needed like 3, it was OV. It was wraps. I wasn't in the pickup. I wasn't in that starting lineup. I was at the crib, but that wasn't often. So I was always scheduled. So if it's a job where it's like they just gonna bring the best ones in and the rest get left out, but they always gonna need somebody, If I'm just that top guy, if I'm doing so good of a job, they can always put me on that schedule. But then again, it all depends, because they show, jobs do it differently. Hey, I'm talking today. But, I got good faith in this. Things have been turning out as planned. Right now, I think I'm going to fill up those 2 X's, which are off days. I'm filling it up at this job. And that's what I didn't say. She told me here, she took me off the schedule, and she chose to go with coming in when I get my schedule and her working around it, and I'm just not on schedule. So at this job, I'm not even on schedule. So I come in, I'm gonna bring her my schedule, and she said she's okay with me working 1 day a week. I just gotta work at least 1 day or I'm done. But I can work 1 day a week. I never heard a job ever say something like that. You can work 1. That's basically saying I can have 1 off day. Keep my off day and just work one of my other off days. Cause I'm gonna get 2 off days at that job for sure. Cause I'm not getting over 40. Like he said, I can get under 40. And he ain't say nothing about if you want more than 40 hours. We might be able to get you that, but then they're not gonna make me for work over 40 hours. I'm pretty sure at Walmart. So I'm gonna get 2 off days. That's just normality in most jobs, I think. So that's cool. That's cool. I might be able to shuffle between both. And it's sounding lit. So all I gotta do now is get into my first days at Walmart and like it. Like the job. Even if I don't like a job, be able to tolerate it to the point where I can work 40 hours every week. You know what I'm saying? Worst case is I get there, I'm like, oh, I hate this job already. It's worse than indeed. I can't do it. I doubt that's gonna happen. But knowing me, even if it's terrible, I should be able to work it until I get a better job. But what I'm saying is, like, only way I can see it not going as planned is if I don't make it to work. If I'm like messing up or something, like I'm doing stuff wrong and I'm just not being a good worker or something, which was what I thought was gonna happen here, but I actually been picking up and doing better here, answering phones, taking customers' orders at the front. I've been stepping up here, but it ain't something I wanted to, stay at as a full-time job. So I'm kind of happy, dog. I'm about to go celebrate with shopping, get some food or something, because I haven't been cooking because I ain't really been having the food I wanted to cook, and I've been acting funny with buying groceries because I didn't want to. I'm getting tight on money, so I'm trying to shuffle my money up right. I'm not gonna get paid at Walmart till the 25th, but lucky to you, that's like right before my car payment is due, and that's a whole it might not be 2 weeks of pay, it might be 1 week of pay. Dang it. Oh well, we'll see. I'll be good though. I'm not struggling yet, and I'm like working now, so I can catch up. Hopefully I can at least maintain where I am. I can make enough money to maintain where I am and not go further in debt if I choose to. I gotta play it right though, and it's gonna be smooth. We're gonna see where we go. We're gonna go up from here. It's only up. Hey, it's time to grind, dog. Let's get to it. It's simple. The way I look at it, right now, when I got my free time, like right now, I'm not grinding. I'm not on no camera. I'm not on no computer learning. I'm not educating myself the way I should be. So what these jobs are teaching me right now is how to discipline myself and how to grind. When you sitting there 8 hours a day, every day, you grinding. I'm not going to get 8 hours a day every day, regardless with the jobs I got right now. But I have the potential, I have the opportunity to work at another job, work at 2 jobs, and be able to work a lot, more than 40 hours. And like, I think I should be able to work, even if it's just 1 week. The thought process of it's not too much, like, people always say overwork yourself. I don't know if you want to overwork yourself. Who made the standard of saying if you work more than 40 hours then you're overworking yourself? If you only working 8 hours a day, how are you overworking yourself? Nigga, I done worked 16 hours in a day. Did I overwork myself that day? That's 2 days in 1 day. Did I overwork myself that day? Maybe not. You get what I'm saying? I overworked. I worked hard before. I worked so hard that I exhausted but overworked myself? I don't know if I can overwork myself at work. Not with the jobs I've had, Not delivering pizzas. Maybe work to the point where not getting a break, not being able to sit, eat, relax, and doodle, in between breaks. Yeah, that might be overworking, but just the number of hours working every day, There's niggas that work every day, all day. I don't know, dog. I hear that term a lot. Like, when they was talking about overtime at D-Dot, yeah, you don't want to overwork yourself and work both off days, so you want to just pick up an extra 3 hours here, extra 3. What? Do you really need a day off? Answer that question to yourself and answer it to its truest form. Do you really need a day off? Will your health start to deteriorate if you don't get your day off? Will that mess with your health? Then think back, what job are you working at? Will working there mess with your health? Like, I was working at a job that I don't feel is, the healthiest. The D-Dot, I feel like that exhaust fumes, I feel like, ooh, man, breathing it in the wrong way would have messed my body up over some years. And I kind of consider myself lucky that I don't have to sit there and work there for 40 years, But not only that, I worked at jobs where my first job, Pennis, when I was dishwashing a certain job, you had to dip your hand in bleach water. Bleach water? I can't do that every day for the rest of my life. My skin is not going to take that nicely, So it's things like that. Cigarettes. What did I have to deal with cigarettes at? That's more so on ride homes from my first job. Cigarettes from the bus job, just letting passengers on. They all in your face, stuff like that. What else? Been out there in the cold when I worked at the parking lot job. I don't think that was the healthiest thing. It wasn't so much of a stretch of unhealthy. It's just a body adjustment. McDonald's, no. McDonald's and student worker job, where I had to, yes. The cafeteria job I worked at the CAF at Wayne State, where I had to work at Mongolian Grill, and the steam would blow up into my face, into my eyes. Bro, if I had to sit there and do that job for 40 years, I would reap, health benefits. Health deficits. And it's not because I'm working there too much. It's because working there is adding up. Nah, whether you work $8, it's just going to hit you later if you work less days a week. But it's going to hit you. Okay, is that. Also, when I was working at McDonald's cooking on that grill, I feel like that wasn't, as bad. But health-wise, I wasn't in a mindset, in a place to actually bring food to work and eat on my break. So the problem with that was I wasn't going to be able to eat the way I should have ate when I was working at Walmart. Working at McDonald's, because I wasn't in that mindset. So McDonald's would have messed me up if I would have continued on the path that I was at. Just thoughts floating in the air. I've been talking today. Today's been a, talkative day. Been getting through it. But, I'm living, I'm learning, and I'm, progressing. It's been smooth. It's been lit. I didn't stress today. I did not stress. And from not stressing, I bring myself happy innings. And I feel like one thing is, I don't want to step on no toes, step on my own toes, say the wrong thing. So I'm going to keep this very vague and generally speaking towards if it applies to you. I feel like a lot of people, they try to get out of situations by avoiding situations because they don't know the outcome and they don't want to reap the consequences of the outcomes that they feel might possibly happen. They might, call in sick and lie to their job and say they're sick because they got other obligations that they can't miss and they can't lose their job. But you never know who you're working with. Like, if the lady I talked to today wasn't there, I wouldn't bring up my schedule at all. I respect that lady. I feel like that lady is a wonderful lady. I love the vibes I get from her. She's A1. She's A1. And she's even better. She proved to be even better than I thought she was when I talked to her. But like, she will work with you, but not everybody will work with you, and I understand that. But if I would have just lied, lying sometimes clouds the picture. Sometimes the pictures that you think you giving that's better picture might be worse. You never know, because you don't get to live out both scenarios. How it would affect you if you lied and if you wouldn't. I mean, yeah, sometimes people like to assume that it would have turned out differently if they wouldn't have lied and all that, but you don't know unless you don't know. You don't know. And typically I like to go with the truth. Hardcore, stone cold truth. And go with the flow from there. Take the consequences. Go with it. But everybody don't live by that. Everybody have their own ways, you know. I just wanted to pitch that in. It just happened to work out for me in this scenario, in this situation. I didn't have to lie. I mean, I don't like lying. So I don't even know what I would have said, how a lie would have even came up in my mind. No, I feel like a lot of people let me give y'all an example. Best Buy, I told them on the interview that I got an interview with somebody else. So I let them know that I don't know how my schedule is going to be. It might be scheduling issues. That could have been a reason why they chose not to hire me, just because of that. But what they don't know is I was brought a schedule, and I worked around the schedule that I brought. Best Buy was to bring me that same schedule. It was to bring me a similar schedule, set in stone. I could have worked around it. I was in a predicament where it wasn't a problem. Just give me 2 off days, and I'm working at the other job on 2 off days. That job didn't have to conflict with Best Buy at all. Now, whether they decide to make their own, decisions based off that truth, I'm gonna give them that opportunity. I would take that L. I don't like being forced to lie. No. A lot of people, it goes with the relationships too. And it's not necessarily lying, but I've been told so many times I'm telling people too much. I'm the type of person, I'm telling you exactly what's going on. See, I like you, but shoot, you just happened to start talking to me the same time this girl started talking to me. And I don't know which one of y'all is, more serious. So I'm still talking to you, but I'm also conversating with her too. You understand that we ain't on no high levels, and I ain't on no high levels with her either. I'm single. But what's up? Or I ain't never been in a situation, but I like you. You cute and all, but I ain't really trying to tie down. I don't want to be in a relationship. I feel like I'm the type of person I'm going to sit there and tell you. I'm going to be 100 with you. Oh, I like you, but me and my ex, we got this thing and it ain't going nowhere. We going to keep talking. We can be friends right now, though, or something. We can, I just feel like I was always the type of person to talk too much. I got a big mouth. I speak my mind. I know I'm filtered individual. I know how to bite my tongue. I know how to I wouldn't say bite my tongue. I know how to speak when I said it well the other day, but it ain't coming to me. But I know I'm a situational person. I know when to do things in certain situations and when not to. But I tend to go with, speaking my mind or whatever. And a lot of people be like, oh, you shouldn't have told her that. You stepping on your own toes. If I am, I will. And I probably stepped on my toes a lot of times. Just saying stuff that didn't need to be said. But it's me. And I'm just letting y'all know how I am. It is what it is. It just reminded me of like how Valandez, Detroit videographer, photographer, part videographer. He was talking about how he got like turned down on job offers because he recorded and videographed guns, stuff like that. And it's like, he ain't changed because, you know, it was turning him down. He ain't try to, you know, sugarcoat his work because it's stopping other work. Nah, it's me. It's simple. And that's how I am with conversation, though. Like, I'm going to tell you the truth. And all I ask is don't try to get me to lie for you. Because you might mess yourself up in the long run. In the past, yes, I've lied to people. More recently, I was willing to lie for people. Luckily, I wasn't in that situation where I had to. Can't really pertain or remember directly no specific situation. But I've been willing to lie for people. But I kind of lose respect for somebody trying to get me to lie for them. Like, don't put me in that. Perfect example. My nigga D-Lo. That's my nigga. That's my nigga. And I was being petty. But it's me. It's me. And I know D-Lo enough to know that he would do the same thing to me if he felt this type of way. He gonna go about with how he feel and how it is with him. He show love, but he still stands his ground. And that's kind of what I was doing. This nigga sent me a application to be a reference or something for him to be a dog walker or something. He applied to some job where he's supposed to walk dogs or something. And he needed a reference or something. And he wanted me to say that I was one of the people who dogs he walked. No, I told him no. I called him to his face and said, I'm not doing it. I'm not lying and saying no. Period. And I feel like that's a petty situation. That's a situation where he could have had anybody. He could have, you know, had somebody else do it. So me saying no wasn't a big deal. Him not getting that job wasn't a big deal. But it's the fact that, you know, he asked me to lie for him, and it wasn't a big deal. Like, that's not something for me to get mad over. I told him no, and he ain't get. I'm thinking pissed, but he wasn't pissed. He wasn't hurt that I told him no. He wasn't. Hey, it was that he rolled it off. I don't know what he did after that, but people would be trying to get me to lie for him on some silly, like, wild. No. What are you saying? Oh my gosh. I mean, nothing racing or nothing like that, but I don't like it. No. But it's rolling off on 16 minutes. Y'all know what I am. Signs. That's a sign. It's time for me to wrap it up. You know, I've been talking a lot lately. I got to dig into something. I've been sweating. Let me take these pants off. I threw these pants on for that orientation that I thought I was having, but I'm not. So it's lit. I got to remember to wake up tomorrow. I got to set that alarm now because I would not be late. We gonna see y'all.